Hey folks, so as I mentioned in my post, in this video we're going to show you how you can use Google's Gemini to get some of the data that's available to you. Here we're going to use unemployment rates by state, and then we're actually just going to turn that into, we're going to get fancy and turn it into an interactive tool that we can use to do some high level analysis. So we are going to start with asking Google to do some deep research, and I'm going to copy and paste my prompt as usual. So we are going to say, we're going to paste it as plain text because otherwise it comes up as a little picture. Can you please help me with the latest unemployment rate as of today for all 50 states in the US? And I'm going to leave that deep research on because it's going to take a particular path at that point. So I'm going to click submit. And it's going to think for a little while here, but then it comes back with a whole research plan. So it's telling us, what it is going to do. It's going to try to find an official source for it. It's going to look at the latest monthly report, analyze the data, et cetera, et cetera. So it kind of talks you through that. And then tells you basically the process it's going to follow. So it's going to research and it's going to analyze the results, create a report, and it'll be ready in a few minutes. So you can do this without the deep research, and it comes out a little bit differently, but this is an additional great option that you have for us. So I'm going to click on start research and talk a little bit about some of the stuff that you'll see here, but then it can take a little while, so I'm going to skip us ahead a little bit after I talk a little bit about what we'll see here. So you'll see here that it is thinking, and it says it will show it's thinking. So it goes down into kind of that high level summary it gave you before, tells you how it's going to structure your research, initial information on how it is going to do that search, and then the next steps that it's going to take. So it even lists out which websites it's going to look at, talks about kind of initially what it's finding, looking at any gaps and contradictions, and what its actual next actions are going to be. So as it goes through the process, you can actually see what it's stepping through in order to get you the information that you want. And then of course, if any of that is not looking like what you want, you can stop it and go back again. I'm not going to do that in this particular video, but I am going to let it keep running, and I will skip us forward a little bit and we'll come back to the next step after that. Okay, and we are back. So you'll see here that it is actually giving us what the report says. We've got some options here to export it into anything that we want here. As you scroll down it, you can see what the executive summary is. You can see a state-by-state analysis that it did. We're looking at current year, previous year, and 12-month changes, and etc. And there's a lot of detailed information that you can get into here. So this is just one level at which you can look at the data. If you are a reader and prefer to look at your data that way, you can definitely go about it that way, or you can take the next step that we talked about. And we are going to go up here to this create option, in case you're wondering what that is. So you can actually have it just go and do an infographic, or it can quiz you on the information, or etc. We are going to do a version of this web page option. What I'm going to ask it is to create an interactive dashboard that a person can use to analyze the findings, and we are going to see what it comes up with. So this part, it will also think about a little bit as well. So once again, I'm going to give it some time to run, and I'll skip us forward in our video here. So what I will just show you is that it's going to pop up. It's going to say, yep, I can definitely do that. It's going to show you the code. Probably way intimidating to look at the code. You don't need to worry about that. Once it is done, it's actually going to give you a preview. So actually, I will not skip us ahead that much because it did it much faster than I expected it to do it this time around. And it does show, you see here that we've already got a page that we can work with, right? So it's given us the rates. It is given it all in a table here, and also a version that you can kind of play around with at the bottom. You can go up here at the top if you want to do it this way and search. and it reduces everything down to the one that you were looking for. We're going to clear that out. You can sort by the rate, or you can sort by the 12-month change. This is just from the basic, if you ask it to produce something that you can work with. So you've already got something you can dig into here a little bit without needing it to go into Excel. I am going to add it, and I'm going to ask it to broke my own rules there when I placed this plain text. Ask it to add the data labels to the outside and right of each bar in the chart, and put the text in black. And we're gonna see how it behaves with this one. Now, sometimes it will give you an error, and we will play with that for now. If it does give us one, I will show you how to work through that as well. And actually, it seems to have cleaned its act up on this try. So you can see here that the values are listed there. This isn't probably how you want to see this, but just giving an option of how you can actually continue to refine the output a little bit. So we're going to do one more thing. Maybe you are the sort that likes to put this sort of data into Excel and do it yourself. So we are going to ask it to put in, and I messed that up one more time, to add an export to CSV button for the table. So it's going to think about that one more time around. And ideally, it will produce an export to CSV button here. The joy of some of these large language models is that even if you go through it about 5 or 6 times, sometimes it will come out a little bit differently for you. So it's always kind of on the fly. But it looks like it worked here, that it is exporting to CSV for us. So we are going to click on that button and then just take a glance at what it gives us. So you see there, we've got all the states and we've got the percentages and etc. So you can work from there to continue to do any kind of analysis that you want, and you're all set. So, in the old days, we'd have to do some web scraping, to actually pull down the data from some of those tables, pull it into Power BI or something like that. None of that, no crazy Excel work done, just some data at your fingertips. So, obviously you want to verify and etc. with all this data, but otherwise should be good to go. So hopefully that one helps.